good were still not happy with Jesus. They moaned, they grumbled, they frowned. It's not fair. Jesus spends all his time with the bad people. Jesus heard this and told them one more story. Once upon a time, there was a man, that's me, who had 2 sons. He loved them both very much. But one day, the younger son came to him with a sad request. Father, when you die, I will get part of your money and part of your land. The problem is, I don't want to wait. I want my money now. It was all the father could do to hold back his tears. But because he loved his son, he agreed and gave him his share of the money. Ooh, money. Ooh. That very day, the son left home, money in his pocket, a big smile on his face. He didn't even say goodbye. Ooh, ooh, freedom. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The father just watched and wiped away a tear and hoped that one day he would see his son again. The son travelled to a country far, far away and spent his money just as fast as he could. Spend, 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 spend. Big spender, big spender. Wasted his money away on silly things until finally it was just all gone. The son looked for a job, but the only work he could find was taking care of pigs. Pigs. Ugh. 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 Oh, it was hard, dirty work, and he was so hungry sometimes he thought about taking the pig's food for himself. He was miserable, lonely, and sad. All by myself. And then one day, he had an idea. The servants who take care of my father's animals are much happier than me. I'll go home. That's what I'll do. I'll tell my father how sorry I am for wasting his money. And maybe, just maybe, he'll let me become a servant and work for him. Now, what do you think the father had been doing all this time? Did he say to himself, I have my eldest son at home with me. Who cares if my younger son is gone? Of course not. He loved his son. He loved both his sons. He loved his son even though he had gone far away. And every day he would go out to the roadside and watch, hoping his son would return. And that's exactly where he was when the younger son hobbled home, poor and hungry. The father ran to his son and hugged him tight, and the son dropped right to his knees. Oh, Father, I'm so sorry. I've wasted all your money and I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Don't be silly. You are my son. You will always be my son. I am just so glad to have you back. Then the father lifted his son to his feet and walked him home. He dressed him in beautiful clothes, my dad's best robe. He put gold rings on his fingers and he threw him a big welcome home party. Home at last, home at last. When the eldest son came home from work that night, he heard the party noise. What? What's that sound? We are family. It's not fair. I've been a good son. I worked hard for you all these years. But he was bad. He wasted your money and now you're throwing him a party. I love you, my son, and you have enjoyed all the good things I have. But your brother was gone and now he's back. He was lost and now he's found. That's why I'm having this party, because we're all back together again. This is one of my favourite stories of Jesus. We all know what it feels like to be lost, to be far from home. Even when we are far away from Jesus, he never stops looking on the horizon for us to come home. And if we come home to him, he doesn't turn us away. No, he runs to meet us, embraces us, and gives us an incredible welcome party. That's because he loves when his lost children come home. Are you feeling homesick for God today? He hasn't stopped loving you, and he is looking forward to welcoming you home and holding a great big celebration when you come to him. If you want to return home today to God, why not pray and ask him? Dear Lord, please let me come home to you. Amen.